Good morning, boys and girls. Today is Monday, the 18th of January 2021. I hope you all had a lovely, restful and happy weekend. And today we're going to start our second week of home learning. We're going to continue our theme of learning all about the home. First class, you are going to be starting your phonics today by continuing on with our O sound that you learned last week. Last week we learned that O can be made with the OW special friend, as in slow. There is another special friend that can also make the O sound. That is O and A coming together to make the O sound, as in goat. I want you to watch this video by clicking the link. Here you will sound out O words that are spelled with our OA special friend and our OW special friend. Remember to sound out your new words using your fingers. When you have watched that video, open up your Just Phonics on page 57. The first part you have to do is write today's date at the top of your page, 18.1, for the 18th day of the first month. Here are a list of words that have our O sound. First, I would like you to underline all your special friends in each word that make the O sound. We have some magic E words that are making the O sound as well. You have learned this before in our last term. When you have finished underlining your special friends, you have to look at each picture and match it to the correct word. This is a picture of an arrow. Here is the spelling of arrow, so I write it on the line underneath the picture of the arrow. Be sure when you are writing your word that you check back to make sure your spelling is correct. A, R, R, O, W. Yes, when you've checked your spelling is correct, you can cross it out. Then in activity B, you have to underline your O special friends as well. Here are words that sound the exact same, but they are spelt differently and they have different meanings. Here we have toe with the OE special friend. Here is another toe. The toe with the OE means the toe on your foot. The toe with the OW means the verb to tow a car. That means to pull it when it has broken down. Here I have two words that are road and road. The road with the OA is the road that you drive on. The road with the magic E is rode, as in I rode my bicycle or I rode the horse. Here I have two holes with the magic E. The first hole is the hole in the ground. The hole with the silent W at the beginning is the full part of something, like the whole pizza or the whole cake. When you have that done, it's time to move on to activity C and be ready for your dictation sentence. As always, remember capital letters at the beginning of a sentence, finger spaces between words, neat writing, and full stops at the end of your sentence. Also remember, this sentence is going to have OA that make the special friend O and OW that make the special friend O words in it. You are going to hear the lady say the sentence twice and I will read it one last time. Ready, boys and girls?
Past the rope. Dictation, page 57. I row the boat past the rope. I row the boat past the rope.
And that was, I row the boat past the rope. There were 7 words in that sentence. Give yourself a smiley face, fine face, or sad face to show me how you think you did, and we will correct our work tomorrow. Next up, boys and girls, in first class, it's time for your spelling. Today you are going to be opening up page 66 in your Spell Well. You are going to be revising sounds that we have learned already this year. Today we are going to be focusing on EW special friend that makes the U sound. So let's go through the first one together. U, few. I underline my EW special friend, few. I only have a few pencils left. What type of word is few? It's a adjective because it describes the number of something, so colour it blue, please. Next spelling, B-L-U, blue. Underline your special friend. Blue. The wind blew. Pretend that you are the wind blowing something. You just blew. What type of a word is that, boys and girls? It's a doing word, so it's a verb. Colour it red, please. Next spelling for tonight, D-R-U, drew. Pretend that you drew a lovely picture. Pretend that you drew a picture of your house. What type of a word is that, boys and girls? It's a doing word. So it's a verb. Colour it red, please. Next, boys and girls, S-C-R-U, screw. A screw is a small piece of metal that is used to keep parts together. Pretend that you are screwing a screw into a bike. What type of a word is that, boys and girls? Well, you have the small screw, so that's a thing, it's a noun. But what are you doing to put it into the part? You're screwing with your hand. So it's a doing word, it's a verb, and it's a noun because it's a thing. Colour your word half red and half yellow. Remember to practice writing your new words 3 times each. Focus on keeping your tall letters tall, your small letters small, and any long letters long. Then move on to activity B on page 67. You have to write an interesting sentence using both words, blue and wind. So, blue and wind. I'm going to say the wind blew the leaves. But it's not too interesting. To make something more interesting, I can use describing words such as adjectives. So The wind. Wind is the noun there, so I can describe the wind as strong. The strong wind blew. I also have another noun in that sentence. Leaves. They're a thing. How could I describe my leaves? I can describe them using a colour. Brown, I think. The strong wind blew the brown leaves off the tree. Now let's describe my tree with an adjective. I'm going to describe the size this time of my noun. My tree is going to be tall. So let's start writing my sentence. Capital letter at the beginning. The strong wind Wind is inside the word wind. Blew, that's my spelling for this week. B-L-E-W. The brown ow. Oh, that's got our ow as in clown, our sound from last week in it. Leaves. E-A, special friend. Leaves with the silent E. Off. There's two F's in off. The tall tree. And the word all is in tall. T-A-L-L, tree. T-R-E-E. And what comes at the end of a sentence, boys and girls? A full stop. So let's read it together. The strong wind blew the brown leaves off the tall tree. That is a good, interesting sentence because I have 3 adjectives in it. Best of luck, boys and girls. I can't wait to read your interesting sentences. Next up, boys and girls, it's time for our mini oral language lesson. This week, we are going to be learning vocabulary that is based on our story, Estate Agent to the Rescue, written by Carol Fallon. The first word you are going to learn is estate agent. An estate agent is a noun because it's a person and a job. An estate agent is someone who sells or rents houses, apartments, buildings, or land to people. For example, you might see estate agent signs on different houses such as Hickey O'Donoghue or Fitzgerald Auctioneers. Now I want you to go and tell your parents the definition of an estate agent in your own words. Here is the picture of an estate agent putting up a for sale sign in front of the house. If you're going on a walk or a drive with your parents at all this week, have a look out and see if you can see any for sale signs that give the name of an estate agent. Now time for our Irish lesson, boys and girls. This week we are going to be learning 2 new special words. Gá focal nua specialta. We are learning V, which means was, and the preposition er, which means on. You are going to play 2 games just like last week to practice reading these new special words. Click this link to practice reading the word V, and click this link to practice reading the word air. was Niamh? Where was Niamh? Niamh was in the kitchen. Cá raibh Niamh? Bhí Niamh sa chiste. Repeat after me. Bhí Niamh sa chiste. Just like last week, boys and girls, I want you to take goodie on chiste. Go to the kitchen. I want you to feig pláta, spúnóg agus cupán. Seo pláta. Repeat after me. Seo pláta. Seo spúnóg. Repeat after me. Seo spúnóg. Seo cupán. Repeat after me. Seo cupán. Feig spúnóg pláta agus cupán. An sin, cuir pláta spúnóg agus cupán an gcontair. Feig pláta spúnóg agus cupán agus cuir siad an gcontair, on the counter. Anois, I want you to practice repeating these phrases after me. Bhí spúnóg an gcontair. Bhí pláta an gcontair. Bhí cupán an gcontair. Arís lena chéile. Bhí spúnóg an gcontair. Your turn. Bhí pláta an gcontair. Your turn. Bhí cupán an gcontair. Your turn. First class, you're now going to go one step further and practice reading these sentences. Bhí spúnóg an gcontair. Bhí pláta an gcontair. Bhí cupán an gcontair. Next up, boys and girls, it's time for some science. We are going to be continuing to explore materials in our home. I want you to go find something metal, glass, plastic, fabric, concrete, wood, ceramic and rubber anywhere in your home. Try and make sure it's something that you can hold in your hand, because we're going to be investigating this material further this week. And make sure it's not something too precious. It might be an idea to keep these items in a bag or a box for the week, as they will be used every day this week. Today, your activity is to investigate each material and sort them into two sets. One set of hard materials and one set of soft materials. You can investigate these materials by squeezing and knocking on the material. If the material can be squished, it's soft. And if it makes a sound when you knock on it with your knuckles, it's hard. To learn more on how to investigate whether a material is hard or soft, click this link and watch the video. Remember to send a photo of your investigation on your Class Dojo learning portfolio. It's nearly time for our movement break, boys and girls. This week we are going to be dancing a new counting in twos dance by clicking this link. But next, let's count in twos together. Remember, our knife and fork come in a pair, so we can count it in twos. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24. Let's now count how many pairs we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I have 12 pairs of cutlery. Now let's count in twos together one last time. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24. I hope you enjoy your new movement in twos dance, boys and girls. This week, boys and girls, we are going to be continuing to explore 3D shapes in our home. I want you to go on a 3D shape hunt in your home and find a cylinder, cube, cuboid and sphere. It might be an idea to keep these items in a bag or box for the week, as they will be used every day. Next, with adult supervision, I want you to investigate your 3D shapes and count how many faces they have. Faces can be the flat parts or curved parts of a 3D shape. A sphere only has one face. To learn more about 3D shapes and their faces, watch this YouTube video by clicking the link below. Remember to send in a photo of you exploring the faces of your 3D shapes and upload it to our Class Dojo portfolio. Now, boys and girls, it's time for our mental maths this week. This week, you are going to be opening up page 34 of your Work It Out, and you are doing Monday, week 16. Remember to write today's date, 18.1, on top of your page, please. Ready? I'm going to call it out as usual, give you time to answer, and we'll correct at the end. Number 1, 6 plus 9 equals. Number 2, 6 plus 10 equals. Number 3, 6 plus 6 equals. Number 4, 6 plus 7 equals. Number 5, 6 plus 5 equals. Number 6. Draw a ring around half of the birds. Number 7. 19 equals 10 plus what? Number 8. The left-hand clock shows 2:30. Show half an hour later. Number 9. There are days in a week. Number 10. How many days in 2 weeks? Number 11. The banana costs 20 cents. How much more do you need if you have 5 cents and 10 cents already? Number 12. 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5 equals what? Number 13. Color the glass so it is half full. Number 14. Fill in the missing number 40, 50, 60, 80. Number 15. Take away equals Look at the picture below to help you solve that number sentence. It's our new learning that we learned last week. Okay, if you need more time, pause the video or pause the slide now. But for now, we are going to continue correcting ourselves together. Number 1. 6 plus 9 equals 15. 6 plus 10 equals 16. 6 plus 6 is 12. You could also say double 6 is 12. 6 plus 7 is 13. 6 plus 5 is 11. Draw a ring around half of the birds. First I'll count the birds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Half of 8 is 4. 19 equals 10 plus what? This is the exact same as any number sentence except it's just switched around. So what must you add to 10 to make it equal to 19? The answer is 9. Here I can see it is 2:30. I want to show half an hour later. So I'm only going to move my long hand half of the way. When I do that, I reach 3 o'clock. So I'll draw my long hand to 12 to show o'clock, and my short hand moves to 3 to show 3 o'clock. There are days in a week. There are 7 days in a week. How many days are in 2 weeks? There are 14 days in 2 weeks. Because 7 plus 7 is 14. 5 and 10 is 15 cents, and I have 15 cents, but I need 20, so I count from 15 to 20. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. I put up 5 fingers when I was counting out loud, so that tells me I need 5 cents more. 5 and 5 is 10, and 5 and 5 is 10, and 10 and 10 makes 20. 20. 5 plus 5 plus 5 equals 20. Color the glass so it is half full. This is the halfway mark. So if you colored inside this part, and remember, a glass, you should not color the top half of the glass, because when you're pouring in any liquid to a glass, it goes straight to the bottom. So it's the bottom half that you should have colored. We can count in 10 since the beginning of the year, so this should have been easy peasy. 40, 50, 60, 70. The missing number sentence, so how many circles did I have altogether? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7, take away how many? 1, 2, 3 equals 4. Give yourself a sad face, fine face, or happy face to show me how you did, and count all of your ticks and give yourself a score out of 15. Well done, boys and girls. Now it's time for our SPHE lesson. This week we are still learning about the home, but our focus is how to stay safe at home. Our moms and dads and people at home tell us rules that we need to follow so that we can stay safe in our home and keep other people safe. Rules are there to keep us safe. It's important for us to take responsibility for our own personal safety at home. Today, I want you to go to your kitchen. I want you to identify 2 ways in which an accident could happen in the kitchen. For example, if you look at this picture, here is a pot with a handle. If the pot handle is sticking out while it's boiling water inside, what could happen? Well, if somebody was walking past it, they could accidentally hit the handle that was sticking out and knock over the boiling water, which could then spill onto their hand and burn them. So, we need to think of a way or a rule that we could avoid this accident happening. They've said it here for us. We could make sure all handles on pots and pans are turned toward the back of the stove or towards the wall. That way, when we walk past, we won't hit the handle and there won't be a chance of it knocking over and burning us. Your activity today. Senior infants, I want you to write one rule to help people avoid one of the accidents in the kitchen that helps them to keep safe. First class, Your job is to write 2 rules to help people avoid these accidents in the kitchen and stay safe. Please remember to send a photo on your Class Dojo portfolio. Finally, boys and girls, it's time to sit back, relax, and listen to your story of the week, Estate Agent to the Rescue, written by Carol Fallon and illustrated by Anya Lynch. Well done today.